But yeah, it was very interesting, and also yeah, the place was really amazing. They used to take animals there because they're farmers, but they leave them free. So they just from time to time they just take them and bring to another place and leave them for another month or whatever. And there was no animals when I went there, but there is this big, huge place in the mountain that it takes like 30 minutes going with this jeep. So very, very interesting experience also. And also on the 28th, if I remember correctly, I will play some of the recordings that I made here and also some that I made before in a live set, which is not that much different from how I played it now. Usually I put all the electronic sounds in a tape machine, like in a 4-track recorder. There is not that much thought about that machine. Is that I like the sound, and it's very practical for me because when I started recording as a kid, it was the technology available for my money at the time. I didn't have a computer, and so 4-track cassettes was the way to go. So I already had it at home, and it's portable. You can power it from batteries, like these small lithium batteries that I'm using for the amplifiers. And so usually I just have the computer with the software that is deciding which speaker I'm using for that specific sound, and the tape machine for the electronic sounds, and I just mix the two, and I use some reverb, and that's pretty much it. It's very, very, very simple, and just there's nothing to see because it's just me turning on the volume on tracks and pressing play.
Yeah, I was going to ask, you don't do any kind of post-processing, you record one thing, then you do the...
Yeah, usually I some EQ,
okay.
and sometimes I use delays on field recordings.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I
What is EQ?
equalization. Sorry,
Okay, thanks.
just cutting frequencies that I don't want to be in the recording. Also with these microphones, you catch a lot of bass sounds, like you hear airplanes from kilometers. And so sometimes there is no valuable information on the bass frequency, so you just cut, or I cut, I don't know, sometimes my nose can whistle and I cut that, and sometimes I cough and
you
I
already
add
know
it.
the frequency of your nose, like the...
It changes, but I have a software for specifically for that, just for my
for your nose.
for my nose, because sometimes I don't want to cut the frequency, but I just want to cancel. Like a Photoshop for audio is called Isotope. It's very expensive, so I didn't buy it. I just use it. Correct. But I can tell you on live streaming that I'm cracking softwares.
I have a question, but probably is stupid, but my knowledge of sound is very limited. When you decide to reproduce the sound on this speaker, how does it work, this left and this stereo sound? Like you decide which one are producing the left and right? Or?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have this graphical matrix, like it's a square with dots in it, and like I have the tracks and the left and right with for every speaker.
Okay.
So usually I use 6 or 8, and so I have left and right for everyone, and I have 2 volumes for two separate volumes, so I can, for example, play this one like I did on the small speakers, and I can choose like to use only this one or this one and that one, or use all of them. And this is one track that on my live set configuration. And for example, this is the PA that I'm turning on, and I can turn off the small speakers because they're independent. They're the same track but split in different channels. It's very simple. Nothing.
And when you place them, like you try to create the left and right.
What? Sorry.
When you place them, like, what is the logic? You try to have a left and right on the
Usually
side,
I just keep left and right on the left and right.
Okay,
but
okay.
if I want, I can just use one. Now they're inverted, but I can use only this one and maybe another one there, and like this is that big speaker and that small speaker over there. But yeah, usually I just use both left and right, at least for field recordings, because I want to keep the image of the recording, which is stereo. The recording is stereo, and I like to play stereo. With electronic sounds, I take a little bit more freedom but I don't use panning, like sounds moving all around. I don't really like that idea.
I was just asking because you mentioned that it creates a kind of geography, and I was wondering if to create this effect, which is actually quite immersive, if you split left and right, or if you were creating like
usually with speakers, like for
islands.
example, sometimes I use this. Oh, okay, I don't have it here. Okay, I will not show it because I don't have it. But sometimes I have very small sounds that I can make happen just on a specific point, and I use that. But for field recordings, I mostly use both the stereo channels.
And you use which program for that when you're playing like this?
I'm using Max MSP, which at the end I don't know that much about, because I tried using that for as a sound source, but it was too complicated for me, and it took a lot of time just to create sound wave with an envelope, and it was too much for me, so I don't know that much about it, and I didn't go the step for the sine wave, so I never used the sawtooth or whatever. But I learned how to use it for this live splitting signals.
And how do you choose the spaces that you go to record? Like, do you have something you are looking for, like a common thing?
It depends. Usually, my main problem is cars. Ciao. You can take a seat. There are chairs there.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I just usually it's just that I go out and I see if there's something interesting. Traffic is a problem because it's very loud and it covers everything, and it's not that I don't like specifically the sound of traffic, but if you're in a big city, it's difficult to hear anything else.
Yeah.
So usually I tend to go a little bit outside, and also it's very easy for me because I live in a small town by the sea, so like I walk
You have options.
2 minutes from my house, and there's no sound of cars. Here it was a little bit more difficult, and I decided to focus mostly on the river. In these days I'm exploring the other part. I'm going like every day that is not raining in Barreiro, which is I really like that place. A lot of abandoned places and beaches and very silent, and I really like. And also it's also that I want to go in places that I feel comfortable in just having a walk, because most of the time I don't find anything to record, and at least I had a good walk in a place that I like.
You incorporated kind of your life.
Yeah, because it took a lot of time to go out for field recordings. For example, to go to Barreiro, it take more than 1 hour just to go there, and if the place is shitty and there's no sound to record, and if it's raining, it's just frustrating. And if there is no sound to record, but I had a nice walk,
Exactly.
At least it's good for myself. I don't want to be too much, but I am. Sorry. Anyway, that is one. That is the main part of my work, and usually the way that I present it is with live concerts, and with publications that I made myself. I decided not to work anymore with record labels, because it was too much waiting time and too much frustration dealing with people that will print your record in 100 copies, and you will wait for 2 years for it, and then in 2 days you finish it and your record is gone and nobody cares anymore about it. So I decided to put out my recordings on cassettes that I made myself at home. So there is no limited edition, which is also a thing that I'm really struggling against, because we are really few people in the world listening to experimental music, and if you finish the copies of your record in 1 week, at least for me, it doesn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense people selling records for thousands of euros just because it went off in 1 day. So my cassettes are always available, because I make it myself, and I found out a nice way to work on them, because the graphic is the same. So usually when I finish the audio part of the release in maybe a couple of weeks, I have the copies and they're out, and I can start thinking about the next one. Before it was okay, I finished the record and then I will wait 10 years for it to be released, and it will be a big event, and in the end it wasn't, and I just wasted 10 years waiting for the shitty records to come out.
But it's not always like that, isn't it? With the label.
Yeah, I don't know. You have good experiences with labels.
I'm just asking that because I really admire the way that you find a way to produce your album in this format. But also the other formats can also be very interesting to listen to. In a vinyl.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
I made vinyls in the past, but you have to wait 1 year just to have it pressed. It's very expensive. You have to make at least 300 copies, and you have to find someone that wants to spend, I don't know, 2,000 euros for them to print, and maybe not sell and have it at home in the guest room for years. And so, at least for me, I don't say that it's bad, but I say that it was frustrating for me, and it was stopping my workflow too much. So I still love records. I have a lot of records at home. I still buy records, but also I'm fascinated by this by the tapes, because people usually think of the cassettes as a lo-fi format, which is not, because it can sound very good, and also it's very easy to ship, because it's like €2 to ship it to Italy for me, and €4 to ship it to Portugal, and good luck shipping an LP abroad, like €15, and I don't want people to pay like €35 just to listen to my 15 minutes record. And also it's for free on the internet. If you want music, if you want the tape, I pay for the tapes, and I will make you pay for the tapes. If you want just music, you go and you listen and you download it, and that's it. It's not a way for me to make money.
Yeah, of course.
I mainly
I was
rely
just
on
curious about
going
the
and
format
playing.
itself.
Yeah, and also I really like the way the cassette sounds. Yeah. And doing it at home, I can be very careful on duplicating. I can use Dolby noise reduction and all the other things. Anyway, also about cassettes, another practice that I do it daily is recording with this small dictaphone. It seems a Walkman, but it's not. It's designed for like recording conferences and courses and whatever. And I use it mainly because sometimes I encounter sounds that I like, and I don't have all the heavy stuff with me. And so I decided to start recording 1 minute every day. I don't do it really every day, but that's the idea. With these tapes, I'm doing it since 5 years, so it is kind of a journal to me. I don't, it's not, there is no words. I don't talk into the microphone. It's just, I use it for, when I find an interesting sound, I just record 1 minute of that. And there are also some private stuff of my life, so it's also, yeah, like it's field recording. It's also a diary, and there are a lot of things that I have, a lot of recordings that I have feeling for, and also a lot of recordings that I don't remember what it was, because usually I listen back to the cassette when I finished it, and most of the time it takes at least 2 months. And then when I digitalize everything and put everything in the computer, I listen back, and most of the time I don't remember what I was trying to record. Sometimes it doesn't work, and you cannot, it's also a very different experience from recording with microphones, because when you're using microphones you're monitoring everything, and it's really a listening experience. In this case it's just, okay, I'm recording and I don't know how much it will be recorded, and maybe there is some problem, and sometimes I switch side of the tape and I cancel everything. And yeah.
Sorry, I don't,
Yeah.
you're not finished. I don't know. Maybe I interrupted, but just to ask, because it's sometimes it's hard to find the format. I think maybe dictaphone, at least here in Portugal.
Of this
The
cassettes?
It's the smaller one.
No, it's a normal cassette.
That was
like
a normal cassette.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I thought,
it's
I thought
like,
it was the smaller ones. Okay.
no,
Okay.
the smaller one. I also have some of the smaller ones, but yeah, the quality is a little bit too much lower, and
Okay.
they break too much easily.
Okay. No, I was asking because I've also had the experience of trying to finding it, so I would find it eventually secondhand.
Yeah,
It would be interesting.
you can find a lot of the, at least I have, I don't know, maybe 10 at home with the micro cassettes.
I'm
But
seeing-
mostly I'm using the normal cassettes, because then I can put it in a hi-fi deck and use it digitally.
And you buy them blank, new. You can still find
No,
them.
the cassettes I in flea markets, or people, just friends clearing their house, and
Yeah.
they found one other cassette and they send me
And you
because
all of them.
You wipe them out and then use them for recording.
It depends on the type of cassettes. Someone I just cancel while I'm recording, and some others I cancel. I erase everything before. It depends on the type, because this could be, with this recorder, it could leave a trace of something that were there before, and usually it's shitty music, so I don't want it. Yeah, but also, at least for my generation, the sound of these recordings are the sound of memory, like the first recording that I have of my life, of me singing nursery rhymes when I was 3 years old, are on cassette, and I still have them, and so I like that specific tone of the cassette. For me, it's good for recording memories. So that's a thing that I do, and I also released one of my cassettes only with these journal recordings, a selection of them, and I will play for you later also one. And okay, that's pretty much it about this dictaphone recordings. And there are 2 or 3 more things that I want to talk about. One is a small project that I'm developing here, which also started from a frustration on my side, because I needed, at least I felt the need to promote my work in the internet, mainly on social networks like Instagram or whatever, and I was really frustrated by the sound quality of the smartphone, and the fact that at least in my case it was not stereophonic, and that the bass frequency couldn't be reproduced well. And so I started thinking of an interesting way of promoting my work on social networks without just being frustrated and accepting their format, but trying to find a way to make it interesting. And so I started taking small videos on when I'm recording with my phone, and then the little game in this video is that when you listen, I want to force people to listen to it with headphones. So the game is that if you hear it with the integrated speaker of the smartphone, you hear some sounds, and if you put the headphones on, you hear some more sounds, because there is a simple thing that is called phase cancellation, which is, when you study sound, is one of the things that you should avoid always. And I'm trying to use it as an advantage to make these small videos. I would really like to show you one, but it uses this idea of being private listening. So maybe you can pass it by, or well, I will play it and then you decide. And wait. This is one, and with the shitty speaker of my smartphone, and there is only the field recording. When you put the headphones on, and I will show you, at least to some of you, you can hear also electronic sounds, because the speaker is mono and the signal is stereo, and but the signal in stereo is the phase is inverted. So when the voltage is high in one channel, for example the left channel, in the right channel is the opposite, so they make 0 when you put it in a single speaker. So that's why you cannot hear electronic sounds in the smartphone, but you can hear it when you put the headphones, because then it becomes stereo again. so it's just one by one because it's only with headphones, but it works. You can pass it by that. And also the quality is better, so that's you can take also the phone. And that's another project that I'm working with. I will start publishing the small videos in a few days. I'm waiting for the graphic friend of mine to do a small logo for the project. And also another thing that I've done in these months is building this synthesizer, because the one that I have at home is not portable, and I wanted this kind of synthesizer for a long time, and so I took the chance and decided, okay, I will just go for it and build it, and I bought all the components and built it myself. And it's a very interesting synthesizer. It's called Cerri synthesizer. It was designed in the 70s, and the thing about this synthesizer is that most of the synthesizers, also modular synthesizers that have more freedom in using them, there are every module in it is designed for a specific function. So there is a lot of things happening inside, and outside is very closed. Like the only thing you can do is patch with these cables from one function to another and build your sound. This synthesizer, which also was the first that was designed for to be affordable for musicians, because before the synthesizer were only like museums and university could have the money for buying a synthesizer, like from Moog or for Buchla in the 70s. It was called the people synthesizer because it was designed to be affordable for musicians. And also it has this really clever design, which is keeping the things very simple in the circuits inside, and give the chance to the musician to program different functions inside of a single module with patch cables. So usually use these cables just to connect one module to another, and in this case use inside the module to create new functions. And I can try to show you. Usually it takes at least 2 or 3 hours to find something interesting, but I will try to show you at least what is it, this idea of Serge called it patch programmability. So the thing that you can program functions inside the modules with patch cables. It was also very, very, very interesting to build it, and very funny. I want to build another one. Anyway, for example, okay, this is an oscillator. Let's see if it works. Okay. Also, it's, if you want, you can also come closer to see it. And also, I don't feel that much of a teacher. And also, the graphic is very clever because the colors are relevant, because they have you can recognize which type of signal with the color, because blue are unipolar, so voltages going from 0 to positive. Black. It's bipolar, so it goes positive and negative, and red are pulses, so just fixed signal giving a shot. And so this is a normal. Okay, this oscillator. You can go also on sub audio frequency, because analog synthesis is just like shaping electricity. It's like doing sculptures with electricity. So you have, for example, this is a module that takes one signal and goes from 0 to positive in a certain amount of time, and then it goes down in the shortest possible. So now you can just hear a click, because you hear only the time when the signal is going down very fast. But if you turn it, you change the speed and you make it play faster, it will make a note.
And you build all of this?
Yes.
All the parts of it?
Yes, besides the PCBs with the traces. And for example, this is used for making strange harmonics with the sound, but it also can be used so you can hear the harmonics of the sound changing. But if you don't put an oscillator inside it, but you patch it within itself, it doesn't make anything now. But if I put one of these things doing this ramp up and to 0 again, it should work. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Can make this like kind of bird sounds. And also there are 3 of them, so I can control the voltages in different ways. And also I can use a filter to cut these clicky sounds. And this is a high pass filter, so it cuts all the low frequencies. And so this is kind of a way of using a module in a different way that is not what is meant to be when it was designed, but it was left open because he knew that some strange sound can happen. And also, for example, like the filter can be pinged with a small signal, like because you have this resonance that enhances just one frequency, and so it can be it can sound on itself without having just having a pulse input that activates the filter, but there is no sound coming in, it's only sound coming out. And also you can control it with another voltage. If I manage to take the cable out. And this is a random voltage. And it can be like this stormy.
Wow.
And then in this kind of machines you have to work a lot manually because
Your lives are with this and with
no, usually not, because this is new and I don't know it that well, and usually I just record the sounds and use it with tapes, because also in my live sets I do some like like I'm doing songs. So I will just play one recording for 5 minutes, and then I will change and play another one. I really would like to try to explore the idea of filtering the field recordings with this kind of machine, but I never did before. So
It's really interesting.
and yeah, so this is like in a simple way of doing birds and thunders, and yeah, you have to. So you can play a lot of things with
So many
with it.
possibilities.
Yeah, and it's also the idea of this search synth is that because usually you have one module performing one function and you don't need all the functions every time, so you end with the big modular systems, and with this idea of patch programmability, the models that you have are not so much, but you can perform a lot of function with them. So you can also be a little bit more compact than usual. I'm not really good at being compact, so probably I will build another panel, and then I will build another one, and then I will have a wall
That's
and all,
amazing.
and
Why not?
no money for my children.
So you don't have it, so that's fine.
Anyway,
It's your
I
children. It's good.
It's
Yeah.
so
Really
cool.
I just wanted to it was happening. So that's pretty much it. If some of you like Chico or wants to explore it a little bit, I have it upstairs in the next days. It will take too much time now to explore it.
On
More than
the
this.
28th, on the concert here, you will use the same
No.
one. You are not using this.
No, because I'm still not trained enough to
Okay.
use it live. And also, if I use this idea of changing from one recording to another, I will have to unpatch everything
Okay.
every time.
Mm.
And
It's
do
a different concept.
yeah, and at least until now it worked like this, just recording the sounds and then playing back. So the concert, it's I do not make sounds live. I just decide where the pre-recorded sounds goes and improvise with the pre-recorded material. And yeah, that's
And
pretty
you
much it.
improvise. Oh, sorry. You improvise with your tapes.
Yeah, because I have 4 tracks in any tape, so I can decide
Okay.
which one I can
Okay.
play before or later, or
That's
not playing it,
interesting.
and pan it a little bit. And
Nice.
I also have 3 more tracks. Usually one is for field recordings and the other 2 are free, so I can decide which track to play, or if to crossfade the field recordings. Or the only thing with tapes is that I have 4 tracks in a tape, but it's only if I don't change the tape is that 4 sounds, and it takes time to change the sound, to change the cassette. So I cannot pass from one cassette to another without stopping, taking the cassette off and putting another one. That is the only
mechanism.
thing. Yeah. And yeah, so anyway, if you want, we can do this small listening session with I also Felix printed this
Papers.
these papers with the titles, because I really want to stop talking. And
I can imagine.
then not because I don't like it, but because I don't want to talk over music. And so if you want, you will have the titles of the songs and of the records mainly. And there are 2 from me, by me. One is the one side of this dictaphone recordings, and the other one is a realization of Fontana Mix, which is a piece by John Cage. Thank you, I need it. A piece by John Cage done in the 50s that I done during the quarantine, because I couldn't. Oh, thank you. I couldn't go out for recording, so and I had spare time to work on this score that I was really interested into for a lot of years, so I just spent like 5-6 months to do this cut and paste of sounds. Very interesting with the graphic score, and so you have this transparent sheets with dots and lines, curved lines, and this grid, and you have to put casually the sheets one over another, and then you have to decide the parameters, and when you decided that, you just have to do it and to accept what it comes out. And I've done 2 versions. I will play just one. But also you can hear the historical versions by John Cage, and there are not so much other artists that have done that, but there are some. They're always very different one from another. And then some other pieces that I just like from other artists. And
Do you mind if I record with the microcassette?
yeah, you can. Yeah, don't worry. So, if you're okay, I will start with the first recording, and also I will have a cigarette during this.
That's nice.
Okay, I'll just turn this off. Okay, the first one is there in the order that I will play. The
Okay.
first one is Raining by Rontini, which is I really like, and it is like in a way the father of sound art. He was a visual artist, and he started working with sound in a very, very, very interesting way. And I will play it like it was meant to be, so with just one speaker. Then I will open the other ones. little wish for your elections. I don't know if it will work. I hope so.
But it's been saying now vote like a woman. It's been one of the
Yeah, like vote like
yeah.
for
Vote correct.
all the minorities. Always.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here and for participating. And if you want to know, you want to talk more about, I will
Yes,
be-
I want
be
to
here.
ask the last field recording, volume 5 that you played. What was it about the sounds?
What?
That from the field recording of yours. The
Uh,
last two before the.
The one from
yeah,
the tapes.
Yeah. What was the sound? Is it from television or is it from?
No, it was there was a recording of fan store being open with the strange music. Where
Okay.
every time the gate was opening in Milan, I found this strange place, and also there was a recording made in a train, and the last one before I stopped, it was the soundtrack of a movie by Martin Scorsese.
Okay.
Todos Catenati is Italian, I don't know.
Raging Bull.
Yeah, and but it was played from a PA system during a video shooting of Pugile, I don't know the name.
The fight?
Yeah, he was doing this promotional thing, and I was there with my friend, and they were putting a lot of smoke in the room because they were trying to reproduce a scene from the movie, and so there was all the time while we were preparing the room, the soundtrack playing, and the fog machine going on, and my friend saying more. But yeah, then it's like 20 minutes of recordings, and there are also some recordings of concerts that I saw, and of theater and dance pieces, and of me just walking, and some I really don't remember. I think there is me playing, but I'm not sure because maybe it's a concert of someone else. I don't remember everything because yeah, as I said, I just record, and then when I finish the tape, I listen back, and sometimes I say, well, that's interesting, but I don't really know what it is. But it's recording made with that recording.
One more correction.
Yeah.
Because
Just when. Oh, sorry.
because there's no stop in between tracks by tracks, and I noticed that one track is you kind of revisit or reproduce of a piece by John Cage.
Yeah.
Would you like to? Because I know John Cage, but I never studied this piece, so I want to know a little bit.
It's a
more
graphic score.
Mm.
It's the first one that because he was working with Chance a lot before, but before he was just deciding the notes by chance, so using I Ching, and the score was written in a normal pentagram score, and so the composition was fixed. And this is the first one where there is a graphic score, so the chance is not only on deciding which sound it will be played, but it's like a more of a composition tool. So you have these sheets that you have to overimpose. Some are transparent and some are white, and then you finish with this graphic, and you have to interpret it and to decide which sound. You have to decide all the parameters. You can use the score to plant plants in the garden, or to make.
What did you use for that?
What?
What did you use for this piece?
Me?
Yeah.
I use it with my recordings and with sounds that I made specifically for that, because in the score John Cage suggested you to divide sounds in categories, and I decided to use for this one, it was field recordings, sounds reminding me of white noise, which could be everything like boiling water or wrapping plastic for and well, radio frequencies and electronic sounds. They were that's it. Field recordings, sound, white noise sounds, and radio frequencies and electronic sounds. And then with the score, you decide when they will happen, and at least with the parameter that I choose, when it will happen, how long they will last, and how loud, and in which channel. So I had two tracks with 20 sounds each, playing from the beginning to the end, and one is on one channel, one is in the other, and they're changing also the loudness according to the score. So you decide, but you can do it for painting or for whatever you want. It's just a compositional tool. So if you listen to he made it in Milan in the 50s. That's why it's called Fontana Mix, because the owner of the place where he was sleeping was called Mrs. Fontana. And if you hear the one that he made, and he did it with tape in the Studio di Fonologia di Milano, it's completely different. It's also with field recordings and with radios, but the sounds are completely different. I just used mine, and he used yours, his, and but really you can do whatever you want with the score. The point is just that you have to, when you decide the parameters, you have to do with the parameters, and you have to accept it, and that's it. If it's good. If it's bad, you do it again, like I did. The first one was shitty, so I did the second one, and the third one.
I was curious about the journal, because you said 2 times that you often don't recognize the sound, and I'm curious if this idea of detaching from the event is on purpose, like it's a way to re-listen to the sound without influence of thinking what it is, or it's just because you're not.
In the beginning, it was casual, because I didn't know that. Then after a while, I just started consciously pressing record, like sometimes when I have the recorder in my pocket or in my bag, and it will get, I don't know what, because also objects are hitting the recorder, and so I find it interesting, this mix of recordings that I have feelings for, like for these private recordings, and from these really random concrete sounds that can just happen, and after a while I will forget about it. And it's also, to me, it's interesting, this mix between things that I care of, and there are, in my recordings, there are people that are dead, and or that I cannot see, that I don't see anymore, and so it is starting to be this archive of random stuff that in a way connected to my life, but sometimes in a deeper, caring way, and sometimes it's just a documentation of the fact that I'm doing sometimes things randomly. Just I press record and
Take the chance.
and who knows what happens.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let him smoke.
Yeah.
Those are the mini speakers you use in
What?
the those are the main speakers you use?
Yeah, these ones and
Can I look?
those smaller ones. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they were just taken off